The facts matter.
Good evening, everyone. Virgo here. It is February 3rd, 2021. I hope everybody's having a great evening. So we are gathered here today to watch a judge humiliate the hell out of a SovCit, which is always lots of fun. And I'll be, of course, breaking in between. Unfortunately, I have no choice but to add some commentary to this in order to ensure that I'm within fair use. But before I do that, I wanted to tell you guys a funny story. So, a couple of days ago, there was a video that I put up pertaining to Moors and how their proclamation by a mayor was retracted because of the fact that the mayor found out that they're really just SovCits, thieves, and, well, individuals who don't like to follow the law. Apparently that ruffled a few feathers. If you guys noticed on my communities tab, I had put up a video by somebody who calls themselves the what was it they called themselves again? Ah, yes, here we go. He calls himself the competent Moor. Hilariously, I have to disagree with that, but as you see, he was rather embarrassed, it appears, and decided he was going to take his video down after making some major complaints about yours truly. But there's something even funnier. Let me show you. Here we go. What you're looking at right now is a contact form that I get when someone sends me an email from my website, virgotriad.com. This is supposedly from someone by the name of Romana Belova. Now, Romana Belova sends this message. Hello, I just saw your name in a report for the General Secretariat of Interpol for crimes against minorities. Be careful. For those of you that don't know, I get all kinds of death threats on a regular basis simply because of the fact that I challenge con artists, scammers, and they don't like it. Crimes against minorities, let's start there. I'm Native American and I'm a woman. That makes me a huge minority, number one. Number two, my name on a report for General Secretariat of Interpol? My name, really? You mean Virgo Triad? Number three, you clearly have no idea what the General Secretariat of Interpol does, because crimes against minorities isn't a thing. It isn't a thing, okay? Also, Interpol and the United Nations have no power within the United States. They have no power. It's hilarious to me why somebody would believe that this would somehow discourage me from speaking out. And I know that this was a Moor that wrote this, because they're the only ones who attempt to try to claim that they can turn things into Interpol. But regardless, my point being here that every time I make a video that really ticks them off, like the one that I made on Monday about their proclamation being retracted by the mayor and in several cities, that one really ticked a lot of people off. And I'm sorry, but you can't run a scam and expect that people are not going to call you out. But this kind of thing, an attempt to try to make me believe or make me afraid somehow that law enforcement is after me, Listen, guys, I get compliments literally on a weekly basis, at least once a week, at least, from all different forms of law enforcement, real law enforcement, like the law enforcement that's here in the United States, including the FBI. I'm actually working for the good guys in that manner. Now, I don't work for a government agency, but what I'm doing from a humanitarian standpoint, by making sure that people don't fall for your scams and cons, yeah, on a regular basis, I get thank yous from law enforcement. There's a lot of law enforcement that are subscribed to my channel. And you know what? This is bullshit, and it will never work. So please, don't waste the time or bandwidth writing this dumb shit, because it will never work. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. Now we're moving on to the fun part of this video, and that would be the court case where this SovCit makes an absolute jackass out of himself. Well, kind of like the person who wrote this email.
I have every intention on pleading guilty. I've actually got an unsigned plea. This is right here. I just had a couple of clarifications I need cleared up before I'm able to intelligently do so.
Okay, so all we can do is tell you what your three options are. We can't give you any other further advice or...
I'm not asking for advice, sir.
Okay, so what's your question?
Do I have the right to be informed of the cause and nature of the charges and proceedings against me here today?
That's what we're doing here today, sir. That's why she called you up here. This is an arraignment. Arraignment is where you enter a plea of guilty, not guilty, or no contingent.
Yes, sir. Was that a yes or a no?
Okay, I'm gonna have you sit down. You're talking to a court. This is no joke. You don't get to address me that way. I explained to you, you asked me, do you have a right to have your charges explained? I told you yes and explained to you what this proceeding was. If you don't like that answer, I'm sorry, but that's the answer. The answer is,
well, sir,
no, do not cut me off.
As you can see, this is already starting out well.
I'm explaining to you this is an arraignment. She's explaining to you you're charged with failure to obey a sign or controlled device. You can plead on that, not guilty, where you don't accept responsibility and you be set down for a trial. You can plead guilty where you accept responsibility, or you can plead nolo contendere where you say you do not fight the charges. You're not saying you're guilty, you're not saying you're not guilty. Okay? What's your next question?
well, sir, I appreciate all that information, but it still didn't answer my initial question.
What's your question, sir?
Do I have the right to be informed of the cause and nature of the proceedings and charges here against me here today? Okay, thank you, sir. Am I presumed innocent of these charges here today?
Yes, sir, you are.
Am I presumed innocent of every element of these charges here today?
Yes, sir, you are.
Is jurisdiction an element?
Yes, sir, it is.
Am I presumed innocent of jurisdiction?
Yes, sir, you are.
And has the prosecution provided any evidence of factual evidence of jurisdiction for the court, yes or no?
No, sir, they haven't. And I'm going to say because they're not required to at this time, because this is not a trial. This is an arraignment where you enter your plea after being informed of the charges that you face. So they don't have that. They don't have that responsibility. That responsibility kicks in when you do certain things and when certain things are required, which have not been triggered.
Raise your hand if you think perhaps he should stop, because you can tell how irritated the judge is beginning to get.
Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
Well, I moved to dismiss this case for lack of jurisdiction.
What cause are you citing lack of jurisdiction, sir?
Because the prosecution has not provided any factual evidence of jurisdiction.
They don't have to. This is not a trial. This is an arraignment.
So how do y'all even have jurisdiction to accept my plea if jurisdiction is not an issue right now?
The Because, sir, this is an arraignment, you got a ticket by a Gwinnett County officer on September the 11th, 2020. So that creates the reason why you're in this court. That gives the court jurisdiction over this particular offense. Do you not see? Show them a copy of the ticket, which you signed on September the 11th. Next question, sir. So your motion to dismiss is denied.
Well, I'm not able to intelligently enter a plea if evidence of jurisdiction is not present.
I showed you evidence of jurisdiction, sir. I showed you the ticket that you signed on September the 11th, so 2020 of this year.
That ticket.
It's always hilarious to me how they try to argue jurisdiction when they don't understand what jurisdiction actually even means. And it's even funnier when they acknowledge jurisdiction but don't recognize that they've acknowledged it.
Ticket is what gives y'all jurisdiction?
Yes, sir.
Could you show me where on the ticket it says that?
I don't have to show you on the tickets. Sir, read the bottom of the ticket, please. It states the law and it states the offense that you've been charged with. That is a violation of law in the state of Georgia. It is alleged to have occurred in Gwinnett County on September the 11th, 2020, which is the venue and the jurisdiction of that particular offense. So that is the jurisdiction and venue in which the law allows me to sit in judgment of this case. How would you like to plead, sir?
Sir, if this court doesn't have jurisdiction...
This court does have jurisdiction.
Can you provide factual evidence of that?
I've just provided it to you. Whether you want to accept it or not,
sir,
that's irrelevant to me. I've provided it.
On that ticket, I didn't see the word jurisdiction anywhere.
You don't have to see the word jurisdiction. There's nothing in the law that says that it has to explicitly say jurisdiction. I just cited you the reasons why I have jurisdiction. Anything else, sir?
I'm not able to intelligently enter a plea.
Well, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and set this down for a trial date. That's my ruling. That's what I can do under the law. Sir, have you been to law school?
Sir,
have you been to law school? Answer the question.
Are you acting as my attorney, sir?
Excuse me?
You just entered a not guilty plea for me. Are you?
Which I can do under the law because you're refusing to enter a plea.
Just to clear this up, what he's about to go on about is the claim that a judge cannot rule or act as an attorney from the actual bar. And that would be true in some factors. However, in this case, the law allows any judge that cannot get an actual plea from someone who enters a courtroom on arraignment, they legally can enter not guilty. It's just the way the law works.
If a plea is not able to be obtained, I told you I have every intention on pleading guilty if jurisdiction hasn't been met.
Okay. Mr. Jones, I'm not going to play this game with you. I'm not going to play it with you. Either you're going to enter a plea of not guilty, you're going to enter a plea of guilty, or you're going to enter a plea of nolo contendere. If you don't enter a plea, the law gives me, because you're not entering a plea, indicates not guilty. The law gives me the authority to enter the plea as the judge in this case as a not guilty and set it down for trial. That's the law, okay? Whether you agree with that law is irrelevant to me, sir. It is. It really is. It's irrelevant to me because I'm operating under the, so you refuse to enter a plea, is not guilty. That means you're presumed innocent. That means the county is going to have to bring their evidence here to show me beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed these offenses as alleged in this ticket on this date in the manner in which they set forth. That's where we're at. So you can keep doing this. I'm not going to do this all day with you, but that's the ruling. If you don't want to enter a plea, I will enter a plea of not guilty. We'll set this down for a trial, and we'll just see what the county's evidence is or is not.
Sir,
I'm not having that discussion, Mr. Jones. Listen to me. I am not having that discussion. So if you continue to go down this road, you're dangerously getting into the point of being held in contempt by this court. So listen to me clearly, sir. I'm not stuttering. I'm not raising my voice. I'm talking to you very calmly. And I am urging you to listen to me and follow the direction in which the court has just given you. If you do not want to enter a plea, the court will enter a plea of not guilty, set this down for a trial. What is it that you want to do, sir?
The judge's translation. Look it, idiot. I know you're a SovCit. I know your plan is to try to gum up my courtroom for the next 2 hours arguing jurisdiction with me. But since I know you're an idiot, I'm not going to allow you to do that. So I'm telling you right now, keep your SovCit bullshit to yourself.
Is it safe to speak?
Go right ahead, sir. As long as you're not going to sit here and say you're not, because you can keep saying you're not intelligently able to enter a plea, that's fine, but that's going to be the ruling of the court. So what is it you want to say, sir?
I'm just gonna be quiet because you threatened me with contempt to be thrown in jail.
I'm threatening you with contempt if you continue to go down this road of telling me I don't have jurisdiction when I've explained to you that I do, and continue to say I haven't shown you that that I have jurisdiction when I've shown you that I do. So I'm not going to keep going down that. This is not a game. This is not some parlor trick. This is a court of law that is to be taken very seriously. If you understood the law and made arguments that had some legal basis, then yeah, I would be happy to entertain that. But you're not. What you're doing is spouting things that have no basis in law, that are not correct. And I've explained to you several times, and you keep going down this road that you don't see jurisdiction. It doesn't have to be there, sir. I showed you the facts. Okay, the law is not as explicit as you think it is. It's no loophole that you can play here. So either you want to enter in a guilty, not guilty, or no contingent, or you can talk to Ms. Biggs and see if she will be willing to work this case out to you in a satisfactory manner. But that's what we're going to do here, sir. Okay, so what is it you want to do, Mr. Jones?
I'd really just like to live with my freedom, sir.
Ms. Biggs, have you threatened him with jail time?
I have not, Judge.
Have I threatened him with jail time?
No, sir.
Has anybody in this courtroom said that Mr. Jones is going to be detained or arrested other than him being contemptuous to the court?
No, sir.
Deputy, no one has threatened your freedom here, sir. You are making something out of this that is not. And I guess you're trying to entertain these people or trying to impress them with some knowledge that you think you have. But you are really testing my patience over something that does not need to be tested over. You are charged with a simple role violation. That's it. Nobody's threatening your liberty. Nobody's going to take you into custody unless you choose to have yourself taken into custody by being contemptuous to the court. So I don't look.
Keep in mind that this man decided, no matter how embarrassing it is to him, to upload this on his channel. His entire point was to try to make a mockery of the court and try to claim that the judge was doing something inappropriate. They love to play the victim.
I used to be a criminal defense lawyer for 20 years, where I represented people charged with murder, rape, child molestation, armed robbery, federal court, state court. I understand the whole nature of people's freedom. I sat with 18-year-olds that looked at double life. Mama's sitting there crying, and I'm fighting for them every day. So you are really irritating me because you're sitting up here with a traffic ticket trying to act like somebody's about to put you in jail for life, or this is some kind of capital case, because you want to impress someone or impress these people and waste everybody's time. Now, if you want a trial, you can have a trial. If you want to show how they don't have jurisdiction, then you could do that at a trial, but you cannot do that at an arraignment. Do you understand me?
We're clear on that, sir.
Have a seat, Mr. Jones. Since you're gonna waste everybody else's time, I'm gonna waste your time. Just sit here all day.
SovCits continually embarrass themselves in court, and the sad part is, there were a lot of people that were waiting to be able to see the judge. They gum up the system, they gum it up with paperwork, and wasting time by claiming crazy things like lack of jurisdiction, and also many other statements like Admiralty Court, and, claiming that it's a maritime court, and due to the fringe on the flag, and just insanity. This is something that needs to stop. There are a lot of judges that are sick of it, and this is the way that they're responding to it, and I'm glad for one to see it. I hope you guys have a great evening. Bye-bye.